Gwe, Boju, Sagoli, Komolsi, Ani, Segong, Skoli, hello, bonjour, all the beautiful ways we greet in our languages. I wanted to begin by honoring everyone who is here today. Taking this step, simply showing up to learn about financial wellness, is an act of strength and self-determination. Whether you are here out of curiosity, preparing for the future, supporting family, or simply exploring options, we wanted to thank you for taking your time to join and learn with us. This settlement represents recognition, an acknowledgement of harm, loss, and intergenerational trauma and impacts. And it's also recognition of a step towards healing and justice. While it does not erase history, it may create new possibilities. We approach this moment with care, respect, and intention. We also want to ground today in wellness. Financial planning is not just about numbers. It is part of a broader wellness journey that touches our minds, our bodies, our spirits, our hearts, our families, and communities. The choices we make about money are closely connected to our values, responsibilities, and relationships. Throughout this session today, we will talk about financial resources as helpers, not cures. Money can support choice and stability, but it cannot undo what has been endured. Our goal is to support you in using these resources in ways that feel aligned, empowering, and protective of your well-being. You'll find this session is rooted in an empowerment and strength-based lens. Many individuals, families, and communities bring long histories of resourcefulness and financial wisdom, often in the face of systemic barriers. This work builds upon your strengths. You are the expert of your own life, and you remain in the driver's seat of all decisions. By the end of today, our goal is simple: to help you feel more grounded and confident. First, by understanding your current financial situation, then by introducing a protective pause strategy to reduce pressures, and finally, by supporting next steps to honor your needs, your values, and your healing. We'll walk through the preparing for your settlement resource that you may or may not have already downloaded when you registered for today's session. There's no expectation for you to complete it today. You're invited to walk through it at your own pace, whether that's during this session or later on. Our hope is that today creates space to slow down, to reflect, and to begin, or to continue, preparing in a way that honors who you are, where you come from, and where you hope to go. This is the first session of a series. Today is about setting a foundation, not about learning everything or making decisions right away. Future sessions will go deeper into budgeting, planning, and next steps. This session will be recorded. You can rewatch and pause the video and work through the resources in ways that feel right for you. All webinars in this series can be accessed from the AFOA Canada website on their financial wellness page. That's where you registered for this session if you're joining us live. I said it before, and I want to mention it again. This settlement represents recognition of harm, loss, and intergenerational impacts, and that can bring up many emotions. Alongside financial information, we want to center wellness, cultural safety, and access to support. It is completely normal for this money to bring up complex, sometimes difficult emotions like anxiety, pressure, or even guilt. And those feelings can be complicated by feelings like relief or even excitement. These feelings are all valid, and if needed, we encourage you to seek emotional support first. For your reference, we have included some support services on this slide, but you may have other resources in your communities or your regions that you're more familiar or comfortable with. If at any point this topic feels heavy, please pause, step away, or reach out for support because you are not alone and help is available if feelings become too much. This is about honoring your experiences and supporting your right to make choices that serve your healing and well-being. This information will still be here when you're ready. We are here to talk about money, but financial wellness is interwoven with our spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical well-being. When you take steps to increase your understanding of your own finances and seek out ways to strengthen your financial stability, this helps you take control and support your own healing and well-being. We're now going to move through the section on financial wellness through preparation. Before making decisions about new money, it can be grounding to understand where you are right now in your financial situation. This step can be done at any point, before receiving the settlement payment or after it arrives, whenever you feel ready. This process is not about judgment. It's about understanding your current reality with compassion and clarity, so you can move forward with intention and confidence. This information does not need to be shared with anyone. It is for your own use and reference. The first step in this process is gathering your documents. So this starts by identifying where your financial information lives. This can include things like recent bills, bank account details, loan and credit card statements, and any other regular financial resources or obligations that you have. Having this information available helps make your financial snapshot that we're going to cover more clear and may reduce stress as you move forward. The next step is creating your income snapshot. This is where you take inventory of every source of money that's coming into your household right now. This is what we call your foundation. This includes wages, child benefits, income assistance, and any traditional economic contributions. The last part is understanding your debt inventory. Here's where we list existing debts, like credit cards, bank loans, and especially high interest loans like payday loans. High interest is like a tax on your future. It's important to take the time to learn the interest rates for each of our debt sources. Many financial advisors consider interest rates higher than 10% to be a high interest rate debt. I'm now going to navigate to the resource that we can work through together. So this is the AFOA Canada website, and under Education, you'll click Financial Wellness. We'll scroll to Learning Resources for your settlement payment recipients. Here we'll click Learn More. And under today's webinar, January 28th, Preparing for Your Settlement Payment, we will download this resource. Initially, when you bring up this resource, it looks like a book, and it'll show you all the pages. In order to use the final pages of the resources, page 4 and 5, you'll need to download your own personal copy. You'll do that by hitting the box here with the arrow, and then download. Once you've downloaded the resource, it will look like this. For this portion of the webinar, I'm going to start at page 4. So again, after you've gathered your documents, this is where you'll capture your financial snapshot in your debt inventory. So in this first part, you will use your documents you've gathered to cover your income and assets. So these boxes here are fillable. So giving an example, I'm going to put in my employment wages. If I get paid bi-weekly, I'm still going to put the monthly amount. So if I'm paid $1,500 2 times per month, I'm going to put a total of $3,000. I'm also going to include child benefits that are received monthly, and so on. So you'll list all of the monthly income sources that are coming into your home, and you'll total that category here. In addition to your monthly income sources, you'll also want to capture your current assets. That could look like your checking account balances, perhaps savings accounts. You might have longer term savings, like for retirement. And again, you'll add up all the totals in these categories here for this bottom box. And this is going to give you your financial snapshot of your income and assets. On the following page, this is where you're going to capture your debt inventory. So you'll list who it is that you owe. So if I have a credit card through RBC, put that here. This is a Visa card. Put the total balance owing. This yes, no, as it relates to interest rate is what we talked about, the high interest rate. So if this credit card has an interest rate of more than 10%, I would put a yes, and most credit cards do. So in this final category here, we're going to put the minimum monthly payment for this debt. You might also have a car loan. So Scotiabank may be the lender for a car loan that I have. So I put those details there, how much I still owe on that car, maybe less than 10% for a car loan, and whatever my monthly payment is. And you'll go through all of your financial obligations and list the creditors here, the type of debt that is, again, the total balance owing, whether it's over 10% or not, and then the minimum payment. And again, you'll total the categories in this box and total your monthly minimum payments in this box here. Scroll back to our presentation. Now that we've grounded ourselves in our current financial reality by capturing our monthly income snapshot and debt inventory, we want to talk about protection and preparation. Before I do that, I want to clarify. This is not all that we're going to do with the income snapshot and debt inventory. We will take a more fulsome look at budgeting in our second session on preparing for your settlement payment. So this strategy that we're going to present now is probably the most important strategy that we will share with you today. It's called the 90-day pause strategy. This pause isn't about doing nothing. It's about protecting yourself and giving intentional time to your decisions. Why a pause strategy? Receiving a large sum of money can trigger a scarcity mindset or create pressure. A scarcity mindset happens when we focus on the fear of losing money or not having enough, even when resources are available. This way of thinking can create pressure to spend quickly, hold on too tightly, or make decisions based on fear rather than on confidence in your actual long-term goals. Making big decisions while under stress often leads to regret. For example, imagine someone receives a large settlement payment. At first, they feel relief, but soon they start worrying that the money's going to run out. So while they're feeling that pressure, they rush off to pay off everything at once and make quick purchases to use it while it lasts. Later, they realize they didn't plan for future needs or opportunities, and some of the money is gone faster than expected. This 90-day pause strategy gives you time to understand how you're feeling about this money, gives you the opportunity to seek out any support you might need, and to make concrete decisions with intention. How does this pause strategy work? Once the settlement funds arrive, you would try to commit to only covering absolute necessities for the next 3 months, with the exception of expenses needed to support your personal or family wellness needs. So, if possible, you pay your bills and let the rest of the money sit. Maybe you'll see from your financial income snapshot that you have enough money coming in monthly to cover your monthly expenses, and you can let the total money from your settlement sit. This pause is about avoiding to rush into big financial decisions right away. If you're thinking about a major purchase, like a vehicle or a meaningful gift, it allows you to take the time to reflect on whether it meets an essential need or holds important personal, spiritual, or cultural value. The goal here is to spend with intention, allowing space to plan, to adjust, and to make choices that truly support your well-being over time. This pause can protect your funds. You might take this time to get some good advice before making big money decisions. We also are hopeful that you'll be mindful of scams and people who may try and take advantage of you during these times. Sometimes even family or friends might pressure you to share or spend your money when you're not ready. So please beware of high pressure sales that result in large purchases. Remember, you are in control of your money and your choices. There is no need to rush. For our last section for today, we will be returning to a focus on wellness. So again, receiving this settlement money can bring up emotions and pressures that people don't always expect or plan for. Alongside feelings of relief or hope, it may also surface feelings of grief, anger, exhaustion, or memories tied to harm. At the same time, people may experience increased pressure connected to navigating expectations about sharing or helping. These emotional and relational pressures are real, and they can be heavy. Because of this, wellness planning is an important act of care. Some people may choose to set aside a portion of their funds to support wellness needs, such things as counseling or retreats, traditional or cultural ceremonies, respite care, childcare. Others may focus on wellness strategies that don't require money, such as rest, time on the land, connection with our trusted people, cultural or spiritual or religious practices, or simply setting boundaries that protect our energy and capacity. Wellness planning is not about spending or obligation. It's about intention. Whether or not funds are used, naming your wellness needs helps you care for yourself while navigating financial planning. Protecting your well-being supports your ability to show up now and over time in ways that are sustainable. Before I move on to closing, I'd like to circle back to the resource to show you just what else is included. There we go. With this, we filled out your debt inventory and your financial snapshot. But earlier on in the resource, I wanted to show you that it also captures the details of that 90-day pause strategy. So why we pause and how it works. And also an important reminder about financial wellness through balance and planning as an act of care. So as we close today, we want to honor both the care it takes to engage in this conversation and the realities many of you are navigating. Receiving a settlement payment can bring up emotions you didn't expect, along with increased pressure from families or communities. Understanding your own financial realities through the income snapshot and the debt inventory resource I shared can give you the clarity and help you to set boundaries with love when needed. Knowledge is a form of protection. Remember, you are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to pause and practice that 90-day strategy that we covered today. And you're allowed to protect your peace and your well-being. Financial wellness is not about rushing or having everything figured out. It's about understanding where you are, making thoughtful choices, and aligning your decisions with your values, responsibilities, and healing. Take what is useful from today. Return to this information when you're ready, and know that support and learning will continue in our sessions ahead. We will continue to offer learning opportunities and resources to support financial wellness. We will be back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. on January 29th to further build out our understanding of our current financial situations with more budgeting advice. If you're able to join us live, great. If not, the recording will be there when you're available or when it feels right for you. I want to thank you all again for joining us today. We hope and wish you well as your day continues.